evening and welcome to my last Czarny Seminar of the 2023 election season. I'm talking today about how to register to vote because the registration deadline is upon us. It's going to be October 28th, but there's some nuance to that I want to talk about. It is actually later this year than any other year because in previous years you had to have a 25-day window for voter registration. Now it's only 10 days. However, before we start, if you are looking to absentee vote, there is still time for that. I already have a seminar on my website for that. I recorded that back in May, and that is at my website, dustinczarny.com. You can see it right here. You can find all of my Czarny seminars here at dustinczarny.com under the podcast tab. You go to Czarny Seminar, and here you have all of my seminars that I've ever done. But you can see that the last one, How to Vote by Absentee in 2023, not only talks about how to vote by absentee for the June primary, but also for the general election. So if you're interested in that, because that deadline is coming up, October 23rd is that deadline. So for the general election. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and go to my website, dustinczarny.com. I also did a Czarny seminar on how to file petitions and objections and how to get on the ballot. These are the four seminars I usually do every year, and I plan on doing them again next year. They are pretty popular and a way to educate the public on the basic functions of the Board of Elections. But now, we're going to get into my seminar for this last seminar for 2023, how to register to vote. And there's a lot of brand new ways to do so. And I'm even going to do a demonstration on how to register to vote online. So check it out. And welcome to my seminar, how to register to vote in 2023. In this seminar, I'm going to go over not only how we register to vote, but the different ways, because you can do it online through my DMV or in person or by mail. So we'll be going over all of those things as well as the deadlines. But first, if you're registering to vote for the first time in New York, you must be registered to vote to be able to cast a ballot in all elections. Over the course of our country, we have a long history of expanding the eligibility to register to vote. At the founding of our country, only white men with property could register. Now virtually any citizen can register and cast a ballot if they meet the following requirements. You must be a United States citizen. You must be 18 years old by December 31st of the year in which you file the form, or you may pre-register at 16 or 17, but you cannot vote until you are 18. So what does that mean? You can, if you're turning 18 in 2023, you can register to vote and you will be made eligible in 2023. However, if you're not 18 by November 7th, which is general election day, you will not be able to vote in this upcoming election. However, sometimes there are special elections after November 7th. So it's important that if you're turning 18 after November 7th, register now because you'll be ready for the presidential elections next year. If you are 16 years of age or older, you can actually pre-register to vote. So you can online or by mail or in person, you can fill out your voter registration and we will hold it for you until you are 18 and then make you eligible to vote. You also have to be a resident of this state, New York State, and the county, city, or village for at least 30 days before the election. So that is New York State law. However, if you do move there and you're already registered, you can port that registration up to your the county that you're in by doing an affidavit ballot on the day of election or by early voting. So if you are moving at the last minute, you can still vote in your new county. You just have to do so by affidavit ballot. You must not be in prison for a felony conviction. You must not be adjudged mentally incompetent by a court. Yes, if a judge has issued that you are mentally incompetent, you can lose your right to vote. and you must not claim the right to vote elsewhere. So a lot of times this is where people get in trouble, where they're registered in other states. The last registration you file is your proper registration. So if you are in Florida and move up to New York or vice versa, whatever you file your last registration is considered to be your proper registration. But you do get to make that determination yourself. So if you're splitting time between different states, different counties, different residences, you get to decide which one is your permanent registration for terms of voting. And pre-registration can begin on your 16th birthday, as I said earlier. When you turn 16, you can register to vote, but you cannot vote yet. You can't vote until the day you turn 18. So if you are registered to vote, we will hold that registration, and then on your 18th birthday, we make it active, and then you're allowed to vote. There are several registration deadlines in New York, and while you may be eligible to register to vote, you need to adhere to these deadlines. The deadlines to register to vote are later than ever. The first deadline is October 23rd, 2023. That's 15 days before the election. Any form received by a board of election 15 days before the election must be processed to be in the poll pads or the poll books, if some of the counties still use those, by early voting. So that's 5 days later. So we actually have a pretty big burden on us as a board of elections. So I ask you not to wait till the last minute, but if you have a form that is received by us, remember, received means actually physically in our hands. If you're doing it online through DMV or you're doing it through the mail, online through DMV comes the next day to us. So you need to do it the day before. But if you do it by mail, it can take 2, 3, 4 days to actually reach us. So and that depends on where in the county or state that you might be. So be aware of that. But the actual registration deadline, the drop dead date, is October 28th, 2023. That's for in-person, mail, and online registration deadline. But October 28th is actually the first day of early voting. So it's now being called the Golden Day. This is a new rule this year since it is the first day of early voting and the last day to register, you can register and vote by using an affidavit ballot on this day only. It's the only time that you can do same day registration in New York is on October 28th at any of our early voting sites in Onondaga County or throughout New York State. And remember that all of these deadlines are received by deadlines. The postmark will not work. So my DMV and online must be the day before. And again, do not wait till the last minute. Anytime you wait till the last minute, you're inviting to actually be unregistered if we don't receive it. It is a hard receive by deadline. Postmarks don't work. Saying you gave it to somebody to drop off won't work either. It has to be in our office by the close of business on October 28th, and that's 5 p.m. And yes, that's a Saturday, and we are open on Saturday. There is one other deadline that I want you to know about, and that is the party change deadline. Now, in a general election like coming up right now, the party change deadline doesn't mean anything because it doesn't matter what party you're in, you will get to vote on the same ballot that everybody else does. However, the April 2nd presidential primary is right around the corner. And I know a lot of people sometimes want to change their party or enroll in a party if they're not enrolled in a party to be ready for that. That deadline is February 14th every year. Yes, Valentine's Day, or I like to call it Fall in Love with Your Party Day. So February 14th, 2024 is the next party change deadline. February 14th is the standing deadline annually. So this doesn't change. It's not like so many days before the election. It's a hard deadline of February 14th. It is also a receive by date. So postmark is not good enough. Online and DMV registration must be the day before. Party changes affect primary eligibility only, not the general election. So if you change your party, you can vote for whoever you want in the general election. It doesn't matter. It just allows you to get a ballot for the party you register in at a primary if you choose to vote in the primary. February 14th party change deadline in 2024 is for the presidential primary on April 2nd and the congressional primary on June 25th. So it is the same deadline for both of those primaries. You have to get it done by February 14th. Any party change request after February 14th is not processed until after the congressional primary. So we will hold that form and not actually process it until after that. The 10-day registration deadline for voters new to New York or first-time voters still apply. So what does that mean? Well, if you're just changing your party, you have to do it by February 14th. But if you're a brand new voter and you're registering for the first time, or moving to New York and registering in New York for the first time, then you still don't have to register until 10 days before any election, but do it now. If you're thinking about changing your party and want to vote in one of the two parties' presidential primaries or the congressional primaries, now is the time to do so. So how to register online? There is a new online portal through the New York State Board of Election, making updating your registration or registering first time easier than ever. So, and how does it do it? It uses your My New York Gov ID. And if you don't have one of those, it's very easy to actually set that up. And it will, it'll walk you through the steps to set that up. This will help you if you have a My DMV account, you already have a My New York Gov.id, or again, if you have a driver's license and you don't have a My DMV account, this will help you get this set up as well. You can register or update your registration at onvote.net, which is the Onondaga County website, or elections.ny.gov, which is the New York State Board of Elections website, or you can go straight to the online portal at nyovr.elections.ny.gov. However, I would check your registration at onvote.net first, because there is a way, there's a link right at the top, and I'll walk you through that when we get to the demonstration, or at least I'll point it out. A lot of times people are registered already and they just don't know, and they're giving a duplicate registration, or they don't know what party they're registered in. So this is a good way to do that. So you may want to do that today. It's free and you can just look at it online and make sure that you know where you are registered, but also where your polling place is as well, if you're voting on election day, and also all the different districts that you vote in. You can get all that information there, and I'll probably do that at the beginning of the demonstration I'm about to do. So it's also helpful to have your driver's license number or the last four of your Social Security. We need those to verify you with the New York State DMV or the Social Security Administration. If you do not provide either of those and you are registering for the first time, we may ask you to provide an ID on your first vote. So if you have those, it'll be helpful to get your registration processed quickly. You can register for the first time or update your party, your address or your party. So you can, or even your name, especially if you've gotten married and you've taken a new name. So or divorced and you're going back to an old name. Either way, you can register for the first time or update your address or your party through the online tool. And you can upload a signature, sign using your phone or pad on a touch screen, or upload an image, or use the electronic signature on file that you already have through your DMV or voter registration if you are not a first-time voter. Again, if you are a first-time voter and you do not upload a signature, you will probably be asked and there's no signature that we can find from the DMV, you'll be asked to vote by affidavit on your first time, so we can get that signature and verify it's you before counting the ballot. And new registrants without a signature or unable to be verified through Social Security or DMV number may have to vote by affidavit. So if you're a new registrant and you don't give that DMV, you don't give that Social Security, or you don't give us a signature, you'll have to vote by affidavit for the first time when you vote in person, as opposed to voting on the machine. So be aware of that. Now we're going to go into the demonstration of how to register online using the new New York State system. This is our website at the Onondaga County Board of Elections. You can get to it by onvote.net, or the actual address is ongov.net/elections. It's a pass-through that we made about 7 years ago that makes it easier for people to just get straight to our website. And you may see right at the top of your website, there are several different things that make it very easy to work with the New York State Board of Elections and our online tools when it comes to voter registration and absentees. Again, I'm not going to get into the absentees in this demo, but if you go here to click to apply for your absentee ballot, as long as you do that by October 23rd, then you will get an absentee ballot mailed to you. And here is where you click here to check your voter registration right at the top, polling place, and track your absentee ballot. And here's where you click to register to vote. If you need to vote, register to vote, or update your address online. So it's two different places. Let's go check my registration just so you can see where you are. Now, I'm a public person. Everybody can find my address if you Google me. So I'm going to do this here, and I'm not really worried about my address, but I'm not going to give you any identifying information. So I may switch back and forth to keep that from happening. So the county that you're in is Onondaga County. At least that's the county I'm in. And then I'm going to just type in my last name, my first name, and my date of birth. Yes, I'm 51 years old, and my zip code. And if you hit search on this checking your voter registration, it brings up where not only where I vote here, but that I am registered. It tells me my political party, my voter status, the address I'm registered at, and all of my voter district information right here. So that will tell me who I'm voting for in any race. I'm in the 17th County Legislative District, I'm in the 48th Senate District, and I'm in the 128th Assembly District, the 10th Election District for the 17th Ward of Syracuse, and the 22nd Congressional District. Those are our political subdivisions that lets me know what ballot I'm getting. So we're going to go back now to onvote.net and click to register to vote or to update your address or party online. Here it brings you right to the New York State Board portal for the online voter registration. And then you just click on the online registration portal. Again, you can go straight here through the addresses that I gave you in the earlier part of the program. Once you actually hit on the online voter registration button, it'll bring you to the newyork.gov.id website. And it'll ask you for your new username and password. If you don't have one, you can create an account. And of course, if you forgot your username or password, you can do that as well. Now, I have a username and password, but I'm not going to show you that right now. I'm going to protect my identity a little bit here. But I'm going to sign in as myself so we can move on with the voter ID. So I would enter in my username and password, and then I would get to this screen right here. I'm just going to share it back again. All right, now we're back on the online voter registration portal. It's asking me if I'm a resident of New York City, or if I live outside New York City, or if I'm registering as an organ donor. It also gives you several different languages to choose from if you need a different language. But I live outside of New York City, so then it goes into this these different instructions here. It gives you a little bit of information, and then you get to go down here where it says next. Now it's asking if I'm a citizen of the United States. Of course I am. And will I be 18 years of age or older on or before election date? Of course I am. I'll hit next. Now I'm going to start to enter in this information. I'm going to enter in my name, my first name, my last name, my middle initial, my suffix. I don't have one. Again, my date of birth is public information, and I'm not too worried about it. And my gender is male. And then it has different optional contact information. I'm not going to put that in there, and we're just going to go ahead. Now it's going to ask me for my address. My address is 213 Melbourne Ave. Syracuse, New York. And it wants the county that I'm in. So you're going to put in your Onondaga County and the zip code. And then it asks if your address you receive mail from me. Yes, I don't have another address I've received mail. Have I voted before? Of course I have. Has my voting information changed? This would where I put in whether I wanted to change. I had an old name or something like that. And here is where the identification would go in. And I would either use my New York State DMV number or last 4 digits of my social. Now, sorry, I am not going to show you those. that is not public information. And so I'm entering that in and hitting next now. And it goes to the next part of the website. Also, you have, so you move on there. And I'll reshare my screen. So then it asked me to make a selection for my political party. I'm a Democrat, staying a Democrat. I could change it here, or I could unenroll in a party by hitting I do not wish to enroll in a party. Don't do other. Other is a different, you would actually put in, if I did other, it would ask me for, what is the party, the name. There are only 4 recognized parties in New York: Democrat, Republican, Conservative, Working Families. Others, you would actually have to type in the name here on this box of the party you wanted to roll in. Do I need to apply for an absentee ballot? And would I like to be an election day worker? I'll hit next here. Now this is where you could upload your signature, or using your phone, you could do it on a signature pad here by typing in the signature. Now, I'm not going to do that because I'm working on a mouse, and that's not really something that I would do. I'm just showing you how to do it. I'm just going to hit reset there. And I'm going to say I'm going to consent to use the electronic signature that is already on file. Now, this gives me everything here. It gives you all the information that you put in. I'm going to stop my screen share for a little bit because there is some sensitive information on here that I don't want you to see that is part of the voter registration. And then at the very end, you have to click on a box that says, by selecting this checkbox, I swear or affirm that I am a United States citizen, have lived, all of that, and then you hit submit. Now I'm doing that outside of your view because the social security number is visible on the screen, and I don't want to share that. But I go ahead and I do that, and I hit submit. And then it gives you a little bit of information about your registration. I'll reshare my screen here. And here it is right here. It gives you all of the information that you put in that is not sensitive. And it's saying that it's sending it to the Onondaga County Board of Elections. And it gives you a confirmation number and a submitted by. Now, of course, I'm already registered to vote. And by putting in this registration, there's no harm, no foul, although somebody's going to have to actually process that at my board. But putting in this information, if you register more than one time, it doesn't and you have the same information, it's not necessarily, it's not illegal. It just causes more work for us at the Board of Elections. But I wanted to actually show you what it looked like when you actually submitted a registration, because I didn't change anything that's on my file. And so they will process that, make sure it's processed, and then I will have an updated voter registration with the same exact information on there. So now I'm going to go into how to actually register to vote by mail or in person. And this is how you're going to register to vote by mail in person. This is the standard New York State voter registration form. You can still register to vote the old-fashioned way by pen and paper. Download a registration form from onvote.net is the easiest way. You can mail it in, so the form is received by October 28th, 2023. Postmark is not good enough. The form is meant for legal paper, but can be shrunk to fit on an 8.5 by 11. You can also request a form be mailed to you, and you can fill it out and send it back. Mail your registration to Onondaga County Board of Elections, 1000 Erie Boulevard West, Syracuse, New York, 13204. In-person registration is also accepted until the close of polls on Saturday, October 28th, 2023, at the Board of Elections or any early voting polling site. Visit us in person. You can come on down to the Board of Elections, and there's many things that you can do at our office. Not only can you register to vote in our office, or you can apply and cast a ballot if you wish to vote in person by absentee. Visit us during our working hours to do so. So we are located at 1000 Erie Boulevard West, Syracuse, New York. We do have a parking lot. Although if it gets really busy, there's a parking across the street as well. We're open usually Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. We're also open Saturday, October 28th, 2023, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can give us a call at 315-435-VOTE. Visit us on Facebook at OCBOFE or on Twitter at OCBOE, and email us at elections@ongov.net. Thank you very much for coming to this week's Czarny Seminar. I did not do a weekly walk this week because I wanted to do this Czarny Seminar. I also had some data issues with our computers being rebooted over the weekend. So that next week I will be back with the weekly walk, finishing up my political subdivisions with the Onondaga County Legislative District 15, the last of the contested races. I got to all of them this year, and I'm very happy about that. Commissioner Carr on Tuesday will be all about the absentee ballot deadline, and my Zoom with Czarny this week will be the Salina Town Democrats, and they have two Democratic candidates that are running for Districts 1 and Districts 2. They have a ward system in Salina, so please join me for that Zoom with Czarny. And as always, go to DustinCzarny.com, and you can get all of your information, content, and election news all right there. If you email, if you sign up, you'll get an email letting you know that I posted something. It's always free. It'll never be a subscription. I'll never have ads. I pay for it all myself, design it all myself, work it all myself, because that's part of my education initiative as your elections commissioner in Onondaga County. Thank you very much, and enjoy your week, and make sure you go up and register to vote. Get your friends to register to vote, and update your registration if you need to. Bye-bye.